little shadow there.
What are you in? Are you in your like work truck?
Yes, I am.
Wow, we should do a
Uh,
view of the truck. I don't know if you could turn the. We should do a tour of the truck, right? Your claims
okay.
adjusting truck.
Yep. Yep.
You
Yep.
have a fire extinguisher actually behind you as well.
That's correct. Because I cook in
Always
here.
ready, right? Always
That's right.
stay ready.
And
That's
I cook inside here.
fantastic.
So, yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. We got people already coming in. That's fantastic because today is day 3. Or we are talking about what's stopping newbie success. To help us help you, start typing your cities and states in the chat right now. I also want to know, here's something new. I also want to know if you've been deployed or if you haven't been deployed. Okay, so type that in the chat. If you've been deployed or if you haven't been deployed, I want to know. I want to be able to hear from you. Tonight, we are going to talk about what's stopping newbie success. We have Ashley Severe. He is in Orlando. He is an adjuster, former general contractor. On day 1, he told us about who he is, how he got started. On day 2, he brought in one of his trainees, Jolena, who talked about how you can get your license no matter what state you're in, because not every state is the exact same. She
That's
talked
right.
about her adventures with Ashley so far this week, actually training with him. We went over what's stopping you. Many of you said, the exam, you want to take the exam, but you're maybe having some hesitation about that, and we encourage you. Now tonight we are going to talk about what's stopping newbie success and what exactly is your J.O.B doing to mess with your opportunity for your career change. So I want to know where everybody is. So don't forget, in the chat, type in your city and state. And I want to know if you're deployed or if you've never been deployed at all. What we're going to do before we do that, while you guys are typing that in, I have some questions from the last meeting because we didn't have that much time. We understand and appreciate time so much, ladies and gentlemen, that
That's
we
right.
are going to make sure
That's
that
correct.
we pay attention to your time tonight. So we're only going to be together for about 15 minutes tonight. And while we're together, we're going to pump in as much information for you as we possibly can. Who wants a lot of information tonight? Say, yes, I'm ready. So let's check in with the comments here. We've got Rebecca Hayfers. She is from, how do you say that, Ashley? Dufunca Springs?
Um, the Phoniac Springs.
Oh,
That's just.
Dufoniac. What a
That's
fun
right.
name,
That's just.
Dufoniac.
That's just north of Panama City.
Okay, north of Panama. Okay, I haven't been deployed yet, but I'm ready. Rebecca, does that mean you're licensed too? That means you're ready. Let's see. Facebook user says that they are in Houston. They've got one deployment in there. I'd love to know which deployment you've been on. Tykel, you are in Atlanta, Georgia. You've never been deployed. You're not ready, Tykel. What's stopping you? We got to get you ready before tonight is even done. I want to know what's stopping you. How can we help you get ready, Tykel? Put that into the chat right now. Jay Edwards says, yes, they are ready. Lena, she is from Chicago, Illinois. She's studying from the exam, but her job is slowing her down. What do you do, Lena? We want to know. And then Rebecca said, yes, that is she's in Dufunca Springs,
The
and that
Phoniac Springs.
okay, say it again.
The Phoniac Springs.
Defoniac. All right.
Now, now, depending on where you're from, it may be pronounced different, but I pronounce it the Phoniac Springs.
Amazing, amazing. So then, last but not least, what we have for everybody, we do have a bonus day. If we get to 50 viewers, okay, we are going to do a bonus day. That bonus day is going to be for the spouses. We are going to talk about with the spouses about how you both can bring more home, how you can actually bring more bacon to the table. That's what we're going to be doing, but we got to get to 50 views. So start sharing this on your social media platforms, your favorite social media platform. Share it with your spouses or your business partners. Share it with your friends, families, people at church. people you go to the gym with, people you see at the stoplight, at the bar. You're going to be watching the game tonight. Share this with somebody, because the more we teach people about claims adjusting, the more people know how to use it, the more will be needed. It's a very easy for you to get work if you know what you're doing. Okay. So, my camera is out a little bit. I'm going to reset my camera. Ashley, tell us, do you feel like this is more of a job or a career for you?
Oh, this is a career. This is life-changing career, without a doubt. And this is not you working for somebody else. This is you working for yourself. You control your time. You control the days that you want to work. Of course, your success is going to depend on you, your effort, your diligence, and your work ethics. So your success is purely dependent on the quality of work that you produce.
Absolutely. Now, Ashley, you've worked with different trainers that have worked with people just fresh off the boat, people who don't have any experience whatsoever. What have you seen be their biggest stop? What have you seen be one of the clogs in their reason for getting going?
One of the difficult part is getting over the electronic hump, because most people are not into electronics. And most people that become adjusters, they're in their 30s and 50s, and some of them are just not keeping up with electronics, being electronically savvy, and understanding and coming to grips with how Xactimate works and stability is their biggest issue, more than anything else.
Okay, I got it right, because for me, I tried Xactimate in the very beginning, and it was like, okay, I think I got it, but it wasn't until I actually saw Xactimate at work, meaning this wall is actually damaged 3 feet by 5 feet. Now, not only do I need drywall, right, but now I need to figure out the painting, right, because you paint a little more than that. So I know my camera is going a little bit crazy, guys. What we'll do for a second is, as Ashley is telling us what kind of stops you guys, Brad Smith is checking in. He says he's not ready for his progressive interview. One of the things, and Ashley, you may agree with me or let me know your thoughts. Do you interview a lot with claims adjusting?
No, claims adjusting doesn't even involve interviewing, to be honest with you. It's really
not on the IA side. Not on the IA side, I guess.
Okay. What do you mean?
Right. Because like interview, the staff positions.
No, I don't do staff.
Okay, that's right.
Strictly stay independent adjusting. I don't do staff at all. And every part that I've taken part in has never been staff. I was offered a desk job yesterday. I was like, I'm not interested in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't do staff at all.
Yes. And I interviewed. For me, Ashley, my story is there were a few positions that I interviewed along the way. Just like Brad Smith just saying, finding your way, finding your foot into the door is an avenue to go. But working those positions as a staff adjuster won't necessarily give you the right opportunity that you're really looking for in order to make the money and live the lifestyle that you want to live. When you go back, in fact, if you know what J.O.B stands for, because I've been, some people refer to it as a job, but actually it's really a J.O.B. Anybody know what J.O.B stands for? I want to see that in the chat. If you know what J.O.B stands for. We have a couple of teachers who are waiting for summer school to get done with. And we're asking, a couple of people are asking, how do we get in contact with Ashley? We're going to get there, guys. Stay with the training to Friday. We'll get you guys in touch with Ashley. That way we could be more efficient for each of you and what we're doing. I also want to point out that that if you're doing if you need the PSI exams, you can actually go on the website. If you're taking Pearson VUE or any of the courses, you can go on there. And like Jay Edwards just said, yes, just over broke. That's what jobs actually stands for, just over broke. But that's not the only thing stopping people, right? The transition of the job. Uh, Age and life responsibilities are a factor too, right, Ashley? How would you recommend maybe somebody transitioning from work
Never heard that
to
one before. That's pretty cool.
finding a good opportunity? What do you think, Ashley?
That's correct.
How would somebody transition from finding doing age and life experiences? Like, how would somebody
I always tell
transition?
people the right time to get in is during a cat. So I would not quit my job until I get deployed for a cat.
Right. That's very important too. Unfortunately, I know.
No, that's a loaded question because when you say age, how old are we talking about?
Well, most of my audience is between the ages
What
of
are the challenges that? Yeah,
38 and 55. So some people have grown kids, some people have young kids. I would love to know who
okay,
has kids in
right,
like under
okay,
middle school age where you would need to be home a little bit more. And then I would love to know people
right,
who have older kids because that also puts you in a different age group. If you have a kid as old as me, I'm 34. Put yes 34 in the chat so that we can know also too who we're talking to, because if you're dealing with
right,
super young kids, you're a single parent, IA life may not be right for you, but there's other ways you can still work and become a claims adjuster because there's work from home positions. But how do you get to
okay.
the at work from home positions, right? That's what we're
Let me.
going over. You have to have that training.
That's correct. Let me share a couple things, if you don't mind, Abahi.
Go
When you
ahead.
said, how do you make the transition? Here are some things you need to consider. If you can do in order to do an insurance adjuster out in the field. Number one, you have to be able to carry a ladder. All right. So how old am I? Am I old enough to carry a ladder? Am I still, have my wits about me that I can carry a ladder? Number two, can you climb a roof? Because you can inspect the roof from the ground. All right. Can you climb at least a one-story roof? Number two, can you handle a digital device? Meaning, would you be able to work your laptop? Are you electronic? Do you have at least the basic understanding of how laptops works? You can learn to do stability, but are you willing to overcome those electronic hurdles? Because some people just don't have it. Um, Fourth thing, can you be organized? You understand what I'm saying? Do you still have your wits about you that you can be organized and able to gather all the information that you need for during an inspection and come to a conclusion? So, and are you willing to travel? Or are you capable of traveling? So if you have small kids that are dependent on you, field adjusting may not be what you want to go, especially in a cat. You can do desk adjusting, you can do file reviewing, but maybe field adjusting won't work for you because you have little ones that's dependent upon you at home. So those are things to
Exactly
consider.
right.
And even if you want to do a desk job, you have to consider taking a desk deployment. You have to be willing to travel at least 2 weeks for the first initial 2 weeks. And
Mm.
then they may consider sending you home to do it remotely. So there's some traveling involved, even doing a desk job. They want you there for at least a
Mm.
week or two, some maybe 4 weeks, so that they can properly prepare you to be able to do your work at home remotely. So those are things to consider.
Yeah, that is the organization is the part that stands out to me the absolute most. If you are
That's correct.
organized, ladies and gentlemen, it can be really, really tough to really know.
Very fast.
Yeah, and then you don't work as fast. Ashley is
That's
closing
right.
multiple claims a day. If you're not organized like Rasul, if you all saw the video with Rasul, we talked about how Ashley was training him. In the beginning, he only closed 20 claims in a month. In 1 month, Ashley is closing 20 plus claims in the week. So he's
That's
making
correct.
4 times what trainees are making, maybe even
That's right.
five, because there's going to be other glitches and errors. I've received calls from trainees on their nearly crying because they are so lost in the process that they just don't even know how to finish the close of a claim with the State Farm ESS software, right? The enterprise system. So you want to be able to be super organized so you can be wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And we have Miss Sean Ferguson. She says she's 47. She says she's got a kid that's 20 and 10. So a little bit of a distance there. Maybe the 20-year-old can help while she's away. And she's a former teacher, and she says she's super tech savvy. We have another Facebook user. They said they are 40. I'm telling you, my age group is 40 plus, and they were a former television news videographer. I feel like that person doesn't miss anything, right? If you used to do the news photography, you're probably got a really keen sense of or attention to detail and making sure that you miss and photograph everything. You're going to be great at ladders. And Jod Rock says she is very comfortable with carrying ladders and climbing roofs. Now, I carry a collapsible foldable ladder. I don't do the 32-foot ladder. I don't have a truck big enough for the 32-foot ladder. I let the guys, the ladder assist, and others with the right equipment do that. Rebecca Hafer, she says she's 34 with a 10-year-old and a supportive husband. That may be just right for what you need to be able to get into adjusting. Eddie Rodriguez, he's 45. He says 20 plus year hotel management experience. And when I think of hotel management, I'm thinking customer service, right? Ashley, tell us about why customer service is so key in adjusting.
It is important. I'm gonna tell you one thing. That's one thing that would get you elevated with an insurance carrier quickly. When they get a review of how you handled their claim, I mean, your rating goes straight through the roof because they want you to be personable as an adjuster. Because in some cases, you may be the very first responder to that claim in a catastrophic event. There are other people that are assigned to respond first, to gather information. But there will be cases where you're the very first person they talk to. And the carrier is going to count on you to be empathetic, to be understanding, and to handle that insured with the utmost respect, as if it was your mother. Because they're counting on that insured to get their claim processed, and then when it's time for them to renew their policy, they're counting on that insured to renew the policy. And there are some cases where your interaction is going to dictate, will they renew next year or will they not? If they had a horrible experience, they will not renew with you anymore. Renew with the carrier. So customer service and that is one thing I think, in my opinion, has gone out the window. Customer service is almost non-existent in our community and society. I mean, it's just non-existent in most places. So when you see it, it's a breath of fresh air.
Right. And I just wanted to I was pulling pictures up while you were talking, and just showing people the type of, you don't even know the type of claim you're going to go into. I had a guy go into a claim, and I was trying to find that photo, but the house wasn't well kept. And this is a grown man. He got the smell of the home, and the dirt and debris, the bugs, the pest infestation, and you have to be sensitive. And I hate carriers who come in really fast and then they want to disappear quick because they can't take the environment. They're not used to it. So even this homeowner, and you said sometimes next year they're not going to be with Allstate. Sometimes, and I'm on the PA side, so sometimes I see them cancel in between because it's just been so frustrating. And if you're not a good claims adjuster, you're the one that ruined their relationship. People have relationships with their insurance adjuster for years, like decades.
That's correct.
So we got a few. Go ahead.
I was going to share what happened with me this morning. So last night, I did a claim in Bradenton, Florida, about 2 hours away from Orlando. So I drove back and I got home maybe about 11:30, went to bed at 1 o'clock. I had to be in Crystal River, which is an hour and a half, 2 hours away from my home. I had to be there between 7 and 8 this morning. So I got up at 4, working on 3 hours of sleep. I set up the insured asked me if I can come as early as possible. And so I show up there about 7:15.
Mm-hmm.
Roofer's not there, who I was supposed to meet, that I was not even aware I was supposed to meet him until the night before. So I go and knock on the door, and the insurer does not open the door. And I'm standing
Okay.
there. I'm tired, and I'm like, "What's going on?" So the roofer shows up, and he calls the insurer. The insurer shows up in her robe, like she didn't even expect me to be there.
Okay.
Humanly, deep inside, I'm kind of irritated because I'm like, you asked me for an early inspection. I'm working on 3 hours of sleep. I drove here almost 2 hours, and you're still in bed in your robe. So my human side wanted to be irritated, but I had to reel myself back in and remember customer service. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right.
I had
Right.
to I had to separate the human side of me that wanted to be irritated and remember the customer service. I had to reel that in and handle myself professionally. Of course, when I
Right.
left, I was, oh my goodness, how could she do that? But you cannot handle insurance that way. You have to be professional and demonstrate customer service. That's the most important thing. So that was just
Absolutely.
a funny insider for me that just happened this morning.
Yeah, no, I mean, people want to know these stories. Not only, I mean,
So,
I've gotten a few who aren't ready for us to be there. I'll be honest, and I just tell them, hey, as long as you're comfortable, I'm comfortable.
that's right.
But customer service is something that we can teach. But it's also, if you have that customer service experience, all you need now is skills to be able to do the actual job, and
Correct.
we can definitely help you with. And we're going to go over more skills of what you need. Tonight was just customer service. That's not going to get you the best with deployment. That's just going to maybe keep you deployed or maybe keep you high on the list.
That's
What
right.
we want to do is get
That's
you
right.
ready for your first deployment. We want you
That's correct.
closing 5, 6 claims a day on your very first deployment. Jolena
Well,
yesterday,
no,
she told us she told us
I was going to say,
yesterday.
go ahead. Go
Go ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead.
There's a lag, so I apologize for the interruption. There's a lag on my side.
No worries.
But what I
No
was going to say, you're
worries.
not going to be doing 5 or 6 a day when you first started. So
Okay.
that's a high level. I would say when your first deployment, I would try to aim for 2 tops. Now,
Okay.
after a couple of days,
Okay.
if you feel like you're getting more comfortable, then you schedule more as you get more comfortable. Because the last thing you want to do is to be inundated with a lot of backup claims that you have not written. You may have inspected them, but you haven't written them. So
Absolutely, absolutely,
you
and
don't
that's
want
what
that to
we'll get
happen.
to. We'll get into more of that tomorrow too. About listen, you don't
Right.
just want. I'm looking at the projection. You guys are going to be writing as many claims as Ashley, but start with just a
That's
couple.
correct.
Even a couple will put you at
That's correct.
50 plus claims a month. We're going to get you well above the
That's
20,
correct.
but we're going to dive deep into Xactimate tomorrow. How to download it for free, how to get it and use it, and how easy it is. And once you see it, you're going to be like, oh, I can do this. I got customer service experience. All I likely need now is the license. LaBelle's got her license. I know we've got a few people who are going to be working on their licenses. So we really want to be able to get that going for you guys. So one of the questions we'll answer tomorrow is from Brad Smith. It says, how do I get straight into IA instead of working for the insurance company when I'm currently enrolled in the ACA license? We're also going to look at those who aren't yet licensed yet. We got to make sure that you get the license going. We can help you with what state you're in, where you need to go for training. We're also talk about advice for Texas. Ashley has partners actually in Texas. Maybe we could talk to them tomorrow. You think you could bring them on?
Yes, sir. I'll talk to them and see how their schedule working out. Because one, I was trying to encourage him to come on tonight, but he was on his way to the inspection. So he does
Okay,
training in the
okay.
daytime down there, and he was going to an inspection after training his class.
Fantastic, fantastic. So tomorrow, come back. If you're in Texas, if you have friends who are in Texas, you want to work storms in Texas. Texas had some big storms last year, and even this year, they were going and going and going. It was like they just didn't
That's
stop.
correct.
So everybody, come back
That's correct.
tomorrow. We're going to look at this. We're going to look at our challenge board and where we are. We are making our way through day 3, going into day 4. Tomorrow, we're going to look at perfecting your position, the must-have skills. We'll go over that. And then day 5, we'll go over getting your salary this season. Hurricane season just started. Some of the biggest hurricanes have happened in late August and early September. Harvey was a late August, September. Irma was a late summer storm. So guys, there's still time, but not a lot of time. And then if we get to 50 before day 5, we're going to talk about partnerships. We are going to I want everybody to just look at how you can help people. This was one of the homes that I went into where they had damage. It was just so much damage in there from a tree fall. Think about how the people that you're going to be able to help now, okay? Partnerships work. So everybody say goodbye to Ashley for now. Make sure that you tune in, put in the chat that you want him to bring on his Texas adjuster friend. Let's hype him up. Let's give him some real motivation to get on here tomorrow at 7 p.m. It's going to be like 6 p.m. Central Standard Time for them. But I want you all back here ready to ask questions, get help on what you need to do. Be back here tomorrow, everybody, and we will see you then. Thanks for coming.
Okay, guys, have a good night.